3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, sorry about that, boys and girls. We just had some technical issues, and we're gonna try and try our best to get back on track. So we're on about BBC being free to air,
Yeah.
giving
And
free to air
Sky
Premier League
Games.
matches and games on Sky as well through Freeview.
Yeah.
Now for me, obviously, I don't have Sky or VT, and so for me, um, you know, having the opportunity to watch those games is great. But like I said, I just personally, it's too soon for me. I'd rather be able to watch, I'd settle easily for Bundesliga matches or anything like that instead, being free to air. We know La Liga's coming back next week. Is it next week? Soon, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's the 20th of June, I think.
No, it's the 8th, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's when the Spanish Prime Minister said they could, but
Oh,
they're yet to
sorry.
confirm a date.
Sorry, no, I saw the Italian leagues coming back on the 20th of June. Sorry.
Oh, is that new? Is it? I didn't know that. I thought the
Yeah, I've
Italian.
not seen that.
I thought the Italian league was the 13th.
I think it's been moved to the 20th, but yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's not too bad. Yeah. So I would rather watch from the German league and Spain and Italy, not Spanish and Italy, sorry. Spain and Italy also had quite bad, very bad coronavirus outbreaks.
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they were the leading two nations in Europe before we
But Spain is
surpassed.
getting back on their feet.
so for me, that's another situation where you're just like, I'm kind of like, is it sort of too early for them? Is it better to be safe than sorry? I don't, I know we know now, and I don't doubt that Germany is ready because we've already seen 2 game weeks of the Bundesliga now.
But
But
just because Germany's ready, it doesn't
that,
necessarily
no,
mean.
you're exactly right. That was the point I was gonna make. Um, I think as well we've seen that there are some sort of, I think the word I'm looking for is discrepancies with things such as social distancing, and it's not quite the same as it's not quite the same, obviously, as having fans there, but it does work. And I don't know if any of you saw Joshua Kimmich's goal for Bayern Munich.
I did, yeah.
It's a
Brilliant
very,
goal.
very good goal.
Yeah.
I didn't
Excellent.
see it.
It was an excellent
I
finish,
didn't
to be
see
fair,
all of
mate.
it, but I saw quite a good chunk of it.
I didn't watch the highlights. I just watched goals from the Bundesliga week, and there's quite a few good ones, to be fair. Um, Obviously, that Lilian Thuram, the right back,
Yeah, yeah.
1998 World Cup winner. Yeah. So his son is a striker for Mönchengladbach, and he's very good.
Right.
He's very good as
Is he
well. Yeah.
one to look out for then?
Yeah, for the future, definitely. Marcus Thuram.
Okay,
How
I
old
will
is he?
make sure to.
20, I don't know, he's somewhere between 21 and 23.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, definitely got a whole
So he's
life ahead
quite
of him
young.
then.
And I think, obviously, we talked about this. In fact, I don't think we've talked about this. I think we talked about this on the many failed one of the many failed broadcasts we've had. But the Bundesliga has been a really entertaining league this year, and think it's great. It's not under the best circumstances that it's got a bit more exposure, but it's still great that that's happened because, like I said, it's a good league and one I enjoy watching. I don't watch every single game, but if there's a game on and it's a Bundesliga game or there's highlights, then I'll watch it because I think it's the closest league in the world to the Premier League, and yeah, worth a watch definitely. Same with the Italian league and the Spanish league, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would. Well, I wouldn't agree with you with the Italian league, but
Oh God,
yeah.
I set myself up for it, don't I? Really?
So I won't go much into it because I don't want to have an argument over it. But yeah,
I
my
really
views
do.
on the Italian league.
But yeah. So, do you know what? When he says stuff like that, I just don't know where to go with it. I don't know where to go with it when you say stuff like that. You throw me off.
Sorry.
But yeah, so the Bundesliga has proven that it is doable for football to come back. But yeah, like we've said, not for me. Will can't wait.
Oh, I really can't wait. No.
I'm glad that there will be football on. I am, to be honest. It's something that'll pass the time,
Yeah.
Of course, and you could say it's what the nation needs to
Absolutely.
lift
Yeah.
its spirits.
Yeah,
From that point of view, but like John said, health and safety comes first before any
there was
recreational.
Oh
there
yes,
was
absolutely. And you're saying Spain and Germany. Spain if they're ready, but Spain have also ramped up their testing. They've really are prepared, and so Spain are definitely ready. I would say.
and
Another interesting. Sorry, just while you're on the German league, George. The Haaland, Erling Haaland was
Haaland.
Haaland. Sorry, um, was was actually born in England. So
Really?
theoretically,
Wow.
he could have played for England because he was born in Leeds while his
Yes,
dad
he was.
was
Yeah,
still
while his
playing
dad
for
was
Leeds.
playing for Leeds.
Wow.
And Will,
So
something else that you don't know is that Roy Keane ended Haaland's dad's career in a Manchester
I
derby.
think I did know that because you told me on one of the very failed broadcasts that we did.
Oh no, I think I told you that on the last episode. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's
But
not
yeah,
that.
because you said, oh, you'd like to see Haaland come to United, but I don't know whether he would.
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't think, mind you, I doubt his dad's bitter about it.
I think Haaland would come because I think Solskjaer. I think he'd be happy to work with Solskjaer
I can't
again.
believe. But I was gutted this morning when I found out he was born in England and he's not chosen to play for England. It really, I know his whole family's not English, but it really irritates me. There's something that really irritates me when people don't play for the country of the birth. It really does.
Yeah, but his entire family's Norwegian, so I kind of get it.
He might feel
No,
he's
no, I
more
get
Norwegian
it. I
than
get
English.
it. I get it, but it irritates me for some reason.
Oh well,
All
whatever
right,
floats your boat.
No, it's like you know.
Like I get
Here-
irritated about Gareth Bale, Sam gets irritated about.
No. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it just irritates me that he was born in this country and yet he doesn't want to put the shirt on.
Yeah,
There
it's
you
like
go.
all them guys, like all them guys. Well, actually, I think of a better example than that because I was going to say all the guys that aren't good enough to play for England that'll just turn around and say, "Oh yeah, I've got an Irish grandparent," and then go play for Ireland. But that's a little bit unfair. So One example is probably Declan Rice,
Yes.
who was he born in Ireland? I think he was, wasn't he?
No, no, he
Yeah,
was
I think he
born in
must have been.
London.
Was he? But
Yeah, he was born
obviously there
in
was
London.
and his
But
family.
played for the under-21s but never made a competitive appearance for
Yeah, he
Northern
did.
Ireland.
He had a few caps for Ireland, didn't he? But he didn't have any competitive caps. Um, Now that's a weird one because in the Haaland debate, I agree that he should make his own decision. However, if it was me, I'd go for the country that I felt the most affinity towards. So, say for example, if I was Italian, but I lived in this country my entire life, I'd probably play for England. Unless it was something like Haaland, where my dad was a footballer and he played internationally for a nation. But they got that with Felix Nemetcha and Lucas Nemetcha.
Yeah.
One plays for Germany and the other plays for England when they're both German.
Yeah.
Wait, who plays for England?
Uh, One of the Nemetcha brothers.
Or is he in the under-20s
Yeah,
something?
it's under 20s. And also another one that's like that is Kevin Prince Boateng and Jerome
Bertang and
Boateng,
Jerome Bertang, yeah.
which is an interesting one. It's each to their own, isn't it?
They were born in, oh no, they were both born in Germany, weren't
I
they?
think, yeah, they're both, because they were both born in Germany, yeah. I think so.
So
But obviously, Ghanaian parents.
Were both Lemaitre brothers born in England then?
I think they were both born in. I'm not sure, but I know that they played against each other in England under 21s versus Germany's under 21s, which is pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
I'll
that's
have
a
to
weird one.
research it.
I think that's a weird one, but I think sometimes it's a little bit wrong with national teams and stuff. Because do you remember the Adnan Januzaj debate years ago? Should he play for
Yeah.
England? Should he play for England? Should he play for Belgium? Should he play for Albania? Should he play for Kosovo? It was an absolute fiasco, wasn't it?
I can't remember when was this?
I think it might have been when you were at football, but
I think so,
obviously,
yeah.
It was when Januzaj burst on the scene.
Oh right. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces of Yanazai, but not much.
obviously you can't deny when he burst onto the scene that he was like the most exciting prospect because he was.
Yes.
But in the same breath, having like four or five, you know, national teams, and I think Roy Hodgson spoke to him. I think every national team made their own little pitch to him, which I think is, I don't know, really, it should be the player's decision.
Yeah, and I also think that you shouldn't qualify for a country for your grandparents. Your parents, maybe, but your grandparents is going too far.
I don't know. I think it depends, doesn't it? It depends.
No, but I
It is
think
an
that's too
interesting
far.
point, yeah.
I think that's too far down the line. Your grandparents, your parents, I can understand, but like you were saying, if you had, like Anna's I did, say you had a German mother, say you were born in England, we had a German mother and a Jamaican father, then that's already three countries you can pick from. And then if your grandparents, one was born in Africa and the other was born in Japan, and you had all those countries to choose from as well. That's too many,
Yeah.
surely.
There's some strange ones as well, isn't there? Like, do you remember Eduardo? He used to play for Arsenal, then he broke his leg,
Yes, yes, yes.
and he moved to Croatia, or what was it? Was it Croatia? And he was played for a Croatian team for ages and got Croatian citizenship, and then he ended up becoming a Croatian international, even though he's got no familial links to Croatia.
Was he
That's wrong.
Brazilian?
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
Yeah. Diego Costa was born in Brazil, wasn't
Yeah, and he did the same thing as Eduardo did. He got Spanish citizenship, and then he played for Spain. But he did have caps for Brazil, but no competitive caps.
Oh,
I always
right.
found that a weird one. And I'll tell you who else did that. Do you remember an Arsenal young player called Nico Yannares?
he? Yes.
When was this?
We're talking years back. Anyway, he moved to China and changed his name to like a Chinese name, and now he's a Chinese international, I think.
Oh, right.
Well, I think, I mean, citizenship's a little bit different. I agree that shouldn't be the case. I think that the national where your bloodline is a very interesting one, and how far that should go. I think citizenship is easier to sort out, because I agree
I
with
think it's
you,
kind of
John.
sacred, isn't it? It's sacred. Like I know everybody wants to have a go at international and what have you, and that's fair enough. But like, how far do you go with it?
Well, I think it's how far do you go. The citizenship one is easier to clear up, where if it's your bloodline, it's a little bit harder. But I just think going for your parents, yes, and where you were born, but um going on your grandparents and stuff isn't too far. I think, even though it's not that far down your bloodline.
All right,
Um,
okay. So let's say no. I'm gonna pose a question to you now, Sam, and to you, Will, if you want to answer it.
Okay. Far
If you
away.
had, if you were born in England, right,
yeah,
and so was your parents, but
yeah.
your grandparents were Polish and they came during the wartime and what have you,
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
you then think that it would be, say, under a circumstance like that, if somebody turned around and said, "Yeah, I want to play for Poland," do you think then it would be acceptable to say, "Yeah, that's fine"? Because
No, I think in
still
that
no.
circumstance, I think in that circumstance they would, if both the parents are English and you're English, then you'd play for England.
I think that's quite controversial.
I think that's too far. If one of your parents, if you're English, born in England, one of your parents is I don't know, Welsh, and the other one is um is uh, like Spanish, then yeah, then you should get it. Then you should have your choice between them three nations. But if you're English, your parents are English, but your grandparents are. It shouldn't go as far as your grandparents.
Very interesting. I gotta admit, this
It
is a
really is interesting, yeah.
controversial debate.
Absolutely.
Um,
I tell you what my proposal is. When this video does get to YouTube, let's put it to the people out there who are watching. So, if you want to, guys, feel free to put it in the comments, and yeah, we might read some of your comments out maybe. And
I mean, there's no right or wrong. It's just open for discussion,
yeah, I'm just
isn't
thinking,
it?
for when we do episode 3, it'd be a good chance to revisit. And if we do have any comments on this, then we can maybe read them. What do you think about that?
I'm not saying you're right or you're wrong, Sam. I'm just saying it's a controversial
No, no,
opinion.
no. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just saying it's an interesting topic to discuss.
It
Well,
is.
I haven't really put forward an opinion because I do think it's a controversial topic, but because really it's freedom of choice in it at the end of the day.
It is,
But
yeah.
No, no, and it is the way the rules are. But I'm just saying that I don't think it should go that far, because I think in
no,
some circumstances it can get quite complicated. But
yeah, I wouldn't do it,
mm.
but I see myself as quite patriotic, like born in, kind of live and die for this country kind of thing. Not like Britain first, but but I do feel quite patriotic to this country, so I understand what you're saying.
It is a really interesting one, yeah.
Go on, Will.
No, I'm just saying, but yeah, I think we should put it to the people out there. If we do get any comments, then yeah, we'll read them in episode 3.
Here's one for you. Will, here's
on.
one for you. And Jordan will know this. Kevin De Bruyne was born in Belgium.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And his dad is Belgium, but his mum is English. And when England played Belgium in the World Cup, all his mother's side of his family are English, so they were all supporting England and booed every time he got on the ball.
Oh, that
I doubt
must
they
have been
booed.
really hard.
I doubt they booed, but yeah, I
They
did know
did.
that.
He did. His grandparents were on the telly interview saying we're going to do it when he gets on the ball because we want England to win.
Oh, imagine if De Bruyne had played for England, wouldn't that be amazing?
I know, but he could have done well. He would have qualified for playing for England.
Yeah,
yeah.
See, I kind of agree with that because he spent his entire career until he got to England in Belgium.
Yeah.
So
I agree with it, but I'm just saying he would have qualified. He would have qualified, though.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting thing. I mean, but, it's no shame to play for Belgium when you think of the players that play for Belgium. Eden Hazard.
And he was born in Belgium as well.
Yeah.
So.
Eden Hazard, Yuri Tillemans, Drie Martens. I'm pretty sure he is Belgium, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's no shame. Romelu Lukaku, he plays for Belgium.
Moussa Dembele, Toby Alderweireld, Thomas Vermaelen, Andres and Witsel, yeah.
So yeah, but Belgium, I would say, one of the best, international football teams. I don't know if you would agree with that, boys.
What a player Witsel is, by the way.
They've underachieved.
Yeah, but I think if you take it back, what, 5 years? They had a lot of good players starting, but on the bench and in reserve, they had some bang average players, and that's Belgium's problem. It's not like that now. All my AirPods just fallen out. I don't know why. It's not like that now, but a problem with Belgium in years gone by has been got a lot of great starters, but not much depth.
Yeah,
but I do think
that's why it's nice. That's why it's nice to see them. Nice to see them doing well now, because
it is, yeah.
You've got a team with players like De Bruyne, Hazard, Lukaku, and then you've got some absolute bang average players like Chadley, and what's the other guy? Right. Pocagnoli and or Pogan.
Christian Benteke.
Right, okay. Let's talk about Benteke.
He's been garbage.
I like Benteke. Okay, Will wasn't in football when Benteke came to the Premier League. So
no. I get that. Although actually, I do remember bits and pieces of him actually at Liverpool.
No, hang on, because you can't say right. Yeah, you remember bits and pieces of him at Liverpool. No,
he was at Villa before that.
He was okay at Liverpool, but at Villa he was unplayable.
Wow.
So what has happened to him?
We talk about prime Christian Benteke, and I think. There's an argument that season about who the better Belgian was between Benteke and Lukaku at West Brom, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Lukaku was amazing in his season with West Brom, but I think
and at Everton.
Yeah, but what about this one season? Well,
okay,
I don't know.
Sorry.
You could say it. Right, don't say sorry. You could say it for a couple of seasons that Lukaku and Benteke matched each other, but I think Lukaku did pull away into that world class territory, whereas Benteke was kind of on the edge. I don't know what you.
What's happened to him now is just
Confidence, I
completely
think.
because to watch him is you'll have to admit, Jordan, his record over recent years has been
What's he scored? 1 goal in 2 seasons.
in three. I think.
Poor bloke. Poor bloke. Why are you laughing at it?
Sorry, yeah, I should be laughing at his failure.
But no, yeah.
But what's
So
happened? Because I agree, my dad always thought he was rubbish, but I have to admit, at Aston Villa, I thought he was a really good player, and he was all right at Liverpool. But since he's gone to Palace, and when he went to Palace,
Actually,
I
his
was
first
really
season.
excited.
Sorry.
I was really sorry. When he went to Palace, I was really excited about. Wow, yeah, okay, he didn't do it at Liverpool, but he's going to be amazing for Palace.
and he
And he
scored
wasn't.
16 goals in his first
He
season at
did, yeah.
Palace. He did really well to start, and that's why I don't understand because Palace have actually gone from strength to strength since then.
I think it's confidence, I think.
You
What
know,
were
but
you going to say, Will?
It's confidence, I think, that's gone.
I don't know. He's not the same player anymore.
Maybe it's the style of the manager because you know Benteke obviously Pardew. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Benteke arrived, it was Pardew, wasn't it? That was Palace boss.
Yeah.
And then Pardew obviously was sacked and De Boer came in.
Yeah.
And then De Boer was sacked and now Hodgson's coming. So it could be
I
because
don't know. I'm going to throw it out there and say that Roy Hodgson is not as bad a manager as people think. I just think that he's not.
Better at lower league.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's not suited to manage a top tier team. Do you remember 20 years ago when he managed Inter Milan and he turned around to Roberto Carlos and he said, "You'll never be able to play as a left back."
Yeah. He
One
ate
of
them
the
words.
one of the best left backs to ever play the game, and Roy Hodgson turned around and said, "You'll never make it as a left back."
He ate that.
He
wow,
certainly
that's
did.
quite brutal.
But you think of what he did at Fulham as well. That's why he got.
Yeah, they got all the way to
Liverpool.
the Europa League final, didn't they?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he did. Well, I was out of football then, but I do know a bit about it now.
I think we need to do some episodes where we fill Will in the years that he wasn't in football. I think that would be quite funny.
It would be good actually, because I will admit I haven't got the complete football knowledge, so to fill in some of the gaps in my memory banks would be quite good.
Another
fair-
player.
Go on.
Sorry, go on. Go
No,
on.
you first. All I was going to say was,
No,
to be
because
to be fair,
I
I never watched football until 2012-13. So, but I fell in love with football completely, as Sam will know and as you will know. I probably know more about football than both of you do, because I know about
You do, yeah.
I know about the
don't know.
80s and the 90s and stuff like that.
Whereas
So
I've
do
just
I.
only recently discovered some of the 80s stuff, because of the BBC's archive football.
I mean, me and you, Sam, over the years, we've had some great football discussions.
Yeah. Another point is a player similar ilk to Lukaku and Benteke and Drogba, that sort of powerful striker, is Wilfred Bonney was brilliant at Swansea.
What a player!
Was brilliant at Swansea and then went to Man City. It didn't happen. And that's okay because that doesn't mean you're a bad player. And then went on loan and has gone to other clubs and not done it at all. What happened to him?
He's still training at Newport, isn't he? I don't know if you've seen that, but he's at Newport County.
Oh dear,
What?
what a fool.
I don't think he's playing for a contract there. I think he's just trying to get fit. But
I
I know
thought he
that's
was
where.
playing for I thought he was playing for Swansea again.
No.
No, he left Swansea. I'm pretty sure.
No, but he did go. he did go back to Swansea, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
On loan, didn't he? But he didn't. He
No,
literally
he
did
No, he
nothing.
signed
signed permanently, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I
Yeah,
do remember him at Swansea. I'm not sure whether this was at loan, but obviously, you know, when Gylfi Sigurdsson, Fernando Llorente, and Wilfred Bonney, you know.
They had a formidable team, didn't they, Swansea? Same as Southampton.
They
I think.
did, yeah, they did.
But obviously,
But what happened to him? What happened to Wilfred Bonney after his Swansea days?
nothing. He got
As a-
released. He got released and then
No,
couldn't
No,
get
I
back.
mean as a player. What happened to him? Because I always
I-
thought he was a good player.
I think lack of game time at City just did him over, didn't it?
Maybe, and it's, you know, it's interesting because me and my dad talk about the psychology of football, you know, players that are really good and then suddenly drop off, you know, like, you know, Mkhitaryan is one that really interests me, you know, what happened to him. You know, it is really interesting, isn't it? What
did happen to him? Why has he gone so rubbish?
Yeah, but he's having a, well, I don't know whether this is still true, but last time I looked, he's having a pretty good season in Italy.
He is in Roma. I can't work out with Mkhitaryan because he wasn't great at first, but then, you know, you do have to have time to settle, which he did, and then he really got really good, and then all of a sudden it went backwards, and it was just, well, both frustrating and baffling, really.
Shinji Kagawa was another one.
Oh yeah, do you know where he is now?
He's at Dortmund, isn't he?
No, he's in the Spanish second division.
Oh, sorry, yes,
Why?
he is.
What's
he-
happened to him?
He just dropped off, didn't he, with form? He was at Dortmund, then he went to Besiktas in Turkey, and then like we said, players do just drop off.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes.
it's
Well, he
hard,
was brilliant.
isn't it?
He was, when we brought him from Dortmund, everybody said how amazing Kagawa was.
I think that was one of the things that sort of wrecked his reputation a bit, Kagawa. I like him personally. I thought he was a good player. You know, I'd seen highlights of what he was like at Dortmund, and I was, you know, excited like United fans were about him coming. But you know, sometimes it just doesn't
weird
work.
that they don't rekindle it. I can understand that sometimes it doesn't happen at a big club, but I completely get that because of the pressure.
Sometimes you come back
but
and
then they
everything.
they don't rekindle.
Sometimes you come back and it just all feels different.
What goes on in the footballer's mind as well, you know, the whole psychology of it, you know.
Do you remember Adel Taarabt? There was a player who had some talent but didn't have the.
He didn't have the mindset.
I don't think he was there psychologically, was he? Not in terms of he had issues, but I mean just in terms of.
Could do amazing things.
Sorry, which
He was
player are we
lazy.
talking about?
Harry Redknapp said he was as talented as anybody he ever coached.
Do you remember that goal against Fulham?
Yeah.
Where he like danced his way through from the halfway line. Same with him. Do you remember Hassan Ben Arthur?
Hatton Ben Arthur played for Newcastle. Maverick. Another Maverick.
He had some serious talent.
They're players, Jordan, that if they'd have matched their application with the talent could have been what we call world class, as in played for the biggest teams. But it
Ben
just
Arthur
never
did,
happened.
didn't he? He went to PSG.
No, he did. But I mean, he could have had legendary status in.
Oh, he could have done. He could have done a lot more, but you can say that about a lot of players, can't you? They should have done more. They could have been this. They could have been that.
You're right.
Yeah, I suppose very, very, very few players live up to the potential, I suppose, which is why when they do it, it's so special.
All right, let me ask you another question. Theo Walcott, do you think he lived up to the hype? Do you
No,
think it? No. Okay, let's not ask that. Let's ask, do you think he had a good career?
Uh,
he made it to the top level, didn't he? So yes.
yeah, I suppose he did still score quite a lot of goals for Arsenal, didn't he? When they needed him,
By the time he left Arsenal, he was the highest goal scorer there in the team, I think.
and yet he was on the bench, wasn't he? Pretty much his whole Arsenal career.
Yeah,
If
but
I'm
I think it's because like he had two or what he had two or three amazing seasons, and then never really hit the same notes again, which
well, he
is just what
struggled with
happens sometimes
injuries,
in top
didn't he? I'm
four.
pretty
But
sure
he
Walcott.
could run fast. He could run fast, but didn't really have a footballing brain.
He
Walcott.
was the statistically quickest player in the league, wasn't he, for quite a while until Bellerin came
Do
around.
you do you think he lived up to his potential?
I think.
Uh,
Go on, Will, you first, actually.
oh right, yeah, sorry. Yeah, it is. It is a hard one, but obviously, when Walcott originally, first burst onto the Arsenal scene, he had to battle through, didn't he? There was quite a lot of talent in that team.
Well, he was at Southampton, wasn't he?
Oh, sorry, yes, whoops. Oh, yeah, forgot that.
Same as Chamberlain, actually.
Yeah.
See, Chamberlain has lived up to his potential.
He's still got a long way to go, I
I
would say.
agree because I think now he's one of the best midfield options England have got. However, I think that it's a shame that he had to swap position to get a look in and change team as well. Because I always liked
I'm not
Jack
Chamberlain
sure.
personally.
Did Jack Wilshere live up to his potential?
No, did he not?
Technically so gifted.
Unfortunately, the big thing, like for Wilshere, is injuries. And it's a real shame because obviously he left Arsenal, went to West Ham, and it struck again.
What's happened to him now?
Still at West Ham, isn't he?
Yeah, I think when you have like serious injuries, it can make you not the same player that you were, can't it?
I don't doubt that he's got class. I've never doubted that. I always was a big fan of him. Do you remember them 2 goals against West Brom?
Was that the one where? Was that the one at the Emirates?
There were 2 absolute screamers, and the team goal against Norwich. So it's never been about that. I think for him it was just like injuries, and then when he got injured, I think there was just no. Well, he went to Bournemouth to get match fitness, and had probably the best season of his career.
And then but didn't he get injured as well? Then again,
and then he went. He went back to Arsenal, and I think when he went back to Arsenal, he just couldn't get back in the team.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't say Wilshere did live up to his potential, really.
But this is one of the things that I don't understand about Arsenal. Is you look at the quality of player they've had, and how much they've actually achieved as a team. It just doesn't add up.
No.
But they've not had the balance right, Joe. They've had some great players, but like the midfielders since Vieira and Petit and all them,
you're right.
have all been of a similar ilk. They've not had.
Marco
They've been great players, but they've not. They've not had a mixture. They've not had a mixture.
I think you're right there. I think they've always since not having Sol Campbell, since not having players like Yeah, not even that. I was meaning more defensively, but I was trying to think of good Arsenal defenders over the last like 10 years.
Martin
But you
Keown.
know, it's more like 15 years than 10.
Oh,
You know, other than like Koscielny, who was
Koscielny is a
a
good defender.
Koscielny, who was a good defender, Vermaelen, who was great but was very injury prone. You
so
know,
was Koscielny.
they haven't really had amazing defenders. I mean,
No.
That Mustafi is terrible.
Well, do you know what? He could be sold,
Then
actually. Him, you know, because Arsenal might need to raise funds, so he could be going, and so could David Luiz.
some of them completely steal a living. I mean, David Luiz, I think would be an amazing midfielder, but
David Luiz is a bit like Marmite. You can't make your mind up about him.
don't
Well,
get me wrong,
some days
Because-
he's good and some days
Because
he's terrible,
because
isn't
he
he?
does things that are world class, and then he does other things, and you think, what on earth are you doing?
He's a bit
I
like.
think he.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on. I was going to say I think he's genuinely either the worst or the best.
When I
Yeah.
think of.
There's no
Oh,
in between, is there with them? There's no in between.
There
When
never has been with David Luiz.
David Luiz sort of reminds me of Dejan Lovren, you know, that they can be good, but they also have an error in him. I know they don't play the
Alright.
same position.
As John Stones lived up to his potential, is technically great, but he has a mistake.
That's a difficult one because it depends how you see it, doesn't
He
it?
was great
He's
at
got
Everton,
all the-
wasn't he?
He's got all of the talent anti in the world, but
You know, Stones. Oh, sorry.
Go on, you first.
You know, when Laporte's back, you know, I thought they formed a very good partnership. So that will that could help Stones, I think.
I like John Stones, so my opinion's a little bit biased because
I like Stones as well.
I think he's a good player, George. But has he lived up to his potential? I'm not saying he's a bad player.
Not
And I
yet.
like
It's
him.
weird. It's weird because you can't really answer that because it depends how you look at it. Is
You
he
know-
consistent? No. Has he won a lot? Yeah.
Yes. You know, Stones is actually linked with United before he moved to City, actually.
I think he was linked to a lot of clubs.
So, yeah.
Everybody wanted a bit of John Stones, didn't they? Because he was so good.
Yeah. I think, like I said, I think when Laporte's back and fit, you know, I think he and Stones did pretty well together as a partnership. So I think that will help Stones, actually. It will definitely help City having Laporte back because you can tell they've missed him, can't you? Otamendi is certainly.
Absolutely. Otamendi is a car crash.
Yeah. And Kyle Walker, when he's played as a central defender, well, yeah.
What about... Oh, I'm trying to think of some players now.
What a laugh Roberto is. The guy that played for West Ham.
Oh my God, yeah, the goalie.
What about
Yeah.
who? Sorry.
The goalie for West Ham, Roberto.
Oh, well, yeah, he's not been great, has he? Fabianski, he's been brilliant, pretty much.
Yeah, and
Well,
he used to get rinsed every week at Arsenal, didn't he? Arsenal fans really didn't. Floppy Hansky, they used to call him.
Wait, he played for Arsenal?
Arsenal were wrong to let Fabianski go.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have been a first choice there.
He
No.
would now.
Probably no, because
I'm not
Leno's very
sure.
good. Leno's great.
Leno is great,
not
yeah.
as good
And
as
it's not easy to
Fabianski.
follow in the steps of Petr Cech.
He's not as good as Fabianski.
I don't know about
No, I would say Leno was definitely better than Fabianski. But
What?
Fabianski, I do rate him. And I think for West
No
Ham, and
way, the big Leno's better than Oh,
well, each to their own. Fabianski, like we say, he was part of that Swansea team, obviously when Swansea were really at their height, with Francesco, uh,
that. Guidolin.
yep, Gylfi Sigurdsson, Fernando Llorente,
we're missing
Wilfred
Michu
Bonney.
before that.
Oh yeah, Michu. But his wasn't down to poor form though, was it? He's got like ravaged by injuries.
Yeah, no, he's retired now.
Yeah,
This
he
is
retired
ligaments.
he retired at 30, didn't he?
But what a player. I love
Oh
him.
yeah, unbelievable. I've not seen a striker that instinctive for a while.
Yeah,
I think if he could stay fit, him and Bonnie up from right?
One thing that we haven't talked about yet is one of the things that you wanted to talk about, Will, which is players that we would like our teams to sign.
oh gosh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Now, I'll start off by saying Chelsea could do with a central defender. Like we said in one of the Lost broadcasts, I would like Koulibaly would be a great option. So
Yep.
such a good defender, so strong. There's a lot of rumours linking Chelsea and Ajax goalkeeper Andre Onana, which I wouldn't mind either because
That'd be a good signing.
although I haven't seen very much of him, he was nominated for Team of the Year
Yeah.
this year and, seems to be very, very good.
Kepa's gone downhill, hasn't he, really?
I think that he is not helped by a shaky defence behind him.
No.
I think Rudiger is a very good defender. I think Tomori is a very good defender. I think Christensen needs a little bit of time still, and I think Zuma is either a great defender or the one of the worst.
Garbage, I would say.
So with all that, I think it does come down to the keeper, but also the defence in front of him.
Absolutely.
I would like a new keeper just to maybe, even if it was just, let's say, brought in somebody that was, I want to say average, but that's kind of harsh. A keeper that wasn't.
Chelsea would be great with James Tarkowski.
Oh yeah, that one. See, he's all right, but I don't know. He's what is he? 28.
Tarkowski, you on about?
Yeah. See, it's not that I'm
Um,
bothered about different ages or anything. It's just
he's not young, is he?
no.
I think for
But
Chelsea, youth would be the best way to go, I think.
I agree.
Can I ask you, John? This has been something that I've been saying to Ben when we did Match Talk Live whenever Chelsea play. Lampard's never tried this. Do you think that a back three of Tomori, Christensen, and Rudiger could potentially be good?
Possibly.
Because Lampard's never tried that, and I think it'd be good to try that actually.
The thing is you have to make you make some hard decisions as a manager, don't you?
Well, yeah.
And ultimately, he can only go off what he sees in training.
Well, yes,
And
of course.
I trust Frank very much. To be fair, I trust him a lot. I think he knows what he's on about.
Absolutely.
He's been in the best Chelsea teams.
Did the wrong thing not bringing Nathan Ake back.
His buyback clause has expired now, hasn't it?
I
Yeah,
think so, yeah.
but they could have got him in up till January for 40 million.
No, he's a very good player.
Why didn't you buy him back? Ridiculous.
I rate him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I've always liked Takedo, even when he was back at Chelsea as a CDM back in his rookie days. You know,
Yeah.
when he was just trying to make his way in the team. I've always liked Nathan Ake.
Yeah. Um
Um, Go on, well.
oh sorry. So yeah, sorry. Sam, have you got any players that you would like to United to sign?
Um, I, I don't know. Haaland was obviously one, but he's
Yeah.
gone off.
Do you actually
So
think he would? Do you actually think he would sign for United?
I think I think he would, yeah.
no.
I think he would because I think he would want to work with Solskjaer again.
But he's never
Well,
worked with Solskjaer before.
He
I
has
would
at Mold.
yes, he has. He
Has
did.
he?
Yeah.
Mold, yeah. 'Cause he
What,
went
when he was
from,
like 15, 16?
yeah, he went from Mold to Salzburg, and then yeah.
See, I'm amazed he's not gone from Salzburg to Leipzig, because that's how it tends to work. Because they're all owned by Red Bull, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure.
That might be a debate to have. What do you think about the Red Bull situation?
What about it?
Well, a lot of German fans don't like it, do they?
Do they
I'm
not?
confused.
Why?
What situation is this? Sorry, Jordan.
So Red Bull bought a team in the fourth tier of German football, which is Leipzig, and
Yeah.
they pumped money into them
Yeah.
and made them into a massive club. But it's to do with marketing and owners, and everything's run a little bit different. There's a rule called the 50+1 rule in Germany, which is to do with fan ownership and fans. I think it's like fans always have to have the majority share in clubs. I don't know. It's kind of difficult, but difficult to explain and difficult to understand. But it was a thing that was going on in Germany just before the lockdown, where Bayern Munich fans and Borussia Dortmund fans and Mönchengladbach fans have all been banned from going to away games in Hoffenheim because they displayed banners basically slagging off the owner of Hoffenheim, and I think they were giving him death threats. Like they called him. I
That's
think
disgusting.
one said something like, "Whatever the guy's name is, you're a son of a whore," which is uncalled for.
Oh my god, that just shows you what football fans,
And
are like.
does this man that they had all the anger at own Red Bull?
No, this is to do with Hoffenheim. I was just explaining that's an example.
Right.
But obviously, there's what is the 4 Red Bull clubs? There's Red Bull Brazil, Red Bull New York Red Bull. Sorry.
Yes.
The one in Australia.
No, I think you're on about the City Group one, Melbourne. Because obviously there's that as well, isn't there? The owners of City, they own a load of clubs like Girona and New York Cosmos.
Don't they have a stake in Paris Saint-Germain?
Not heard that one.
But
I'll take your word for it.
But Leipzig have had some good players. I know suddenly he's not really turned out. He's flopped a little bit now. But Ademola Lookman, I'm not sure if I pronounced his name right.
Ademola Lookman come from Everton. Well, he
Yeah,
come from Charlton, then went to
yeah,
Everton.
Charlton, then Everton, then went on loan to like uh, Leipzig, and then returned
And
back
then
to
was that,
Everton.
yeah, then was bought, wasn't he? He was bought by Leipzig in the end.
Yeah,
I
so
think I think with Lookman, he
Where is he
did.
now? Leipzig.
He's still there. Yeah, he's still at Leipzig. I know he did incredibly. I know he did incredibly at first with Leipzig,
yeah,
from what I remember. Um, us doing these broadcasts and what have you. I think it's really good because it actually, it's like it allows us to expand our footballing knowledge as well.
absolutely. We're
Um,
teaching each other, aren't we?
I know that's completely off topic about what we're on about, but I just wanted to put
No,
that
no,
out
no. I
there.
think that's a good point. Do you think,
Oh, I
guys?
tell you what. I
Oh,
tell you
sorry.
who I'd like to sign. Sorry, Will. It's just popped into my head. What's his name? The guy that his name's gone out of my head. I know his name.
Who
Jude
did you play
Bellingham.
for?
Jude Bellingham. There he is.
Oh God, another mention of Jude Bellingham. He seems alright, to be fair. He seems like he's going to be a good player.
He'd be a good
Oh,
signing for United if Pogba goes.
He's massively linked with United, isn't he?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think
if
he's
if Pogba
class.
goes, if Pereira goes,
I think he's class, Bellingham. Absolute class.
if Lingard goes,
Watch this space. He'll win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah.
yeah, well, we'll see. Guys, do you think that'd be a good time to wrap up things?
Yeah, probably, because what time are we on? Let's see.
37 minutes past 10.
Yeah. George, what do you
Yeah,
think?
I think that we've covered everything.
We have. We've
And
largely
it's
stayed
been a
on
Anything we've
good
left
topic.
out quickly?
and it's been a good episode, I
It
think.
has been a good episode,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think before we started this one, we were very worried that because the other episode 2 that we filmed, because if you don't know, we were trying to film these every Monday, and obviously today is Thursday, but we had some issues with filming it and editing, and it just wasn't going onto YouTube. And I think we were all a bit worried as well because the quality of that episode wasn't the best. Um, but I think
But today has been much
I think
better.
this has been a massive success. I think we had some really, really interesting debates.
Absolutely. And, it's not been too long, has it, I don't think?
No,
No.
it's been about an hour and 15 minutes, I think.
But it's been quality stuff, so that's
No, I think there hasn't been one moment where I haven't thought, obviously we had a bit of a technical hitch in the middle, but I think we made up for it.
Yeah, I think we've a good episode.
Yeah, so
right.
yeah, let's wrap it up. I'll do an outro.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just get into character. So, that is the end of the episode, guys. If you have enjoyed, please do leave a like, comment, and share with your friends if you want to. I don't know why you would. We're a bit shit, but I've been Jordan, otherwise known as JLIWheels. Nearly said my full name then. And also with me, obviously, has been William, also known as Lightningboy on YouTube, and Sam. And
Thank you very much.
We absolutely love
Thank
doing
you.
these. And we'll be back next week, probably to talk about.
Football.
I don't know. Whenever we're back next week, we'll probably have some clarification on La Liga, and we can talk about
Certainly
the
the
Bundesliga a
Premier
bit
League
more,
situation.
and the Premier League. There'll be a bit more.
Hopefully, there'll be a bit more clarification on the EFL leagues as well, which
Yeah,
I'm
no,
really
that's a big one, and obviously,
irritating me. That is.
yeah, obviously Ben should be back. So yeah.
Wait, Ben,
but-
miss you, Ben. Come back when you can, mate.
Oh God. But yeah, so we'll see you next week. Hope you have a great rest of your week or whatever you're doing, and I hope you're staying what the hell? hell? I hope you're staying. Oh God, I said it wrong twice. I
I
hope you're
hope you're
staying
staying
safe.
safe, he's
Yeah,
trying to say.
and you know, looking after yourself with all this that's going on, uncertain times. But at least you can count on us to be here to give you some entertainment if that's what you're into.
You're right.
And on that
exactly.
note, because I've rambled. So on that note, goodbye, guys.
Okay, yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, and yeah, like Jordan said, like, share, comment, and subscribe to the Lightningboy YouTube channel, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.